Difficult decisions lead to stronger results. Difficulties are a filter. The weak ones are weeded out, while the strong ones continue their journey. Just a little reminder, if things are hard, you are moving in the right direction. Remember that. All my periods of growth have been accompanied by some external obstacles. Immigration, giving up photography, and starting a YouTube channel from scratch. Leaving my family behind. Trauma. But I always go forward and grow, because I know 100% that my love for these things is much stronger than any difficulty I face. The last time I was checking the apps for moving apartments, it took me 3 to 4 months to find the place where I have stayed until now. There is not a single thing to complain about. It has a huge garden, a spacious rooftop with stunning views for sunrises and sunsets, and it's 30 minutes from Lisbon by car. But there is always a but. The rent was quite high for the area I stayed in. We had quiet and friendly roommates, but at this point in life, you want more privacy with the things you do. Not to have a conversation when not in the mood, to cook without disturbance, to avoid different working shifts disturbing someone else's peace. This house was definitely better than other places we had rented. It was heavenly until people started changing in the house. Since the cleaning service were not provided, everyone was responsible. But in our case, I should say we were responsible. So after some time, frustration set in. We decided to look for a new place that we could call home. It took me about a week to find many options that we liked. And apparently renting a whole house is much easier than finding a room, which has a million rules to follow. After visiting the place we chose, we fell in love with it. It felt like a dream, and we said yes without thinking twice. The house is surrounded by mountains with a view of the lake, and there are 10 to 15 houses around with farmers' land. We have a huge balcony and our own front garden with a lemon tree, oranges, and roses. The first thought was, this is a dream. The rent is less compared to the previous house, but now we have a 2-bedroom house by the lake where we can spend our summer days swimming and fishing. I took my own time packing without any pressure because we also had so many things running in the background. Now, I'm going to tell you about the challenging part of moving around Portugal. We chose to stay on the outskirts, far from the city and people, so we could connect with nature and live in peace. The house we chose is 30 minutes away by car to the nearest supermarket, which is almost 2 hours by bicycle one way, passing 2 mountain hills. We planned on getting a low-cost car to move around, but most cars are manual, which neither of us is fluent in driving. Then we started looking for scooters. After much research and follow-ups, we chose one that we fell in love with. Before making a purchase, we checked with the owner if my UAE license would be accepted for the ownership transfer. And they said yes, of course. So we finally went to the showroom to collect it and signed all the documents. The journey home wasn't the smoothest because it was my first time riding a 2-wheel motor vehicle. I was nervous, stressed, and happy at the same time. So the main thing was done. Now, the main thing is a car to transfer all our belongings. At first we planned on renting a car and driving ourselves. So we went to the car rental, but left without it, because they require a credit card for deposit purposes, which I don't have. Anyway, renting a car was no longer an option. So I started checking moving companies, but their prices shocked me. 500 to 700 euros just to move from one place to another without any furniture. That was a big no. So we started asking friends of friends of friends for help in renting a car or helping us move with their car. But everyone has their own life, and sometimes you don't get the help you ask for, and it's okay. Then one day, we had a conversation with a colleague of my partner, and she casually accepted to help us. That was definitely unexpected happiness almost 2 days before the moving date. It turned out her family owned a van business, and she said she would come and help us on her day off. It felt like a huge weight was lifted off our shoulders with relief. So, the second big thing was done. Meanwhile, I was also looking for insurance for the scooter. Most insurance companies didn't have English-speaking agents, so I have to write emails, which were answered after 2 days or so. One agent I spoke to assured me that I couldn't even get insurance with my license, which crushed my soul. I felt like I was doing everything wrong, but after calls, emails, and follow-ups, I made it through and got the insurance within a day, 12 hours before the move. So the third biggest thing was also solved. Things were packed, a car was found, a helmet was available, and insurance was secured. All of this in a couple of days is really too much for 2 people, I would say. Moving day was the most difficult because I had to say goodbye to my garden. I left everything I planted. Kiko, the little boy who gave us the warmest memories of our days in this beautiful place, also had to stay back. I believe that wild animals are not meant to stay in cages. I'm always there to feed them, care for them, cuddle, and create memories. But I don't have the right to take them from the place they were born. He felt that we were leaving and didn't leave our side even for a second. Tears are running down my cheeks as I write these lines. It's honestly hard. But he had to stay in his neighborhood with his brother and other street cats. We hit the road, and in 3 hours we were home. Could I have thought that life would turn out this way? It's unlikely. However, there is so much value in simple things as being home, hugging your beloved husband, meeting other wild cats, enjoying the silence, and listening to nature. I want to tell everyone, even if it's a little corny, no one knows how our lives will turn out, so appreciate the simplest moments. You know, while I was thinking about it, it seemed to me that this is a perfect illustration of the path to the goal that each of us is taking. When it's not easy, and life throws more and more challenges at you, but you keep going because you know why you do it.